All right, let's do this thing. Howdy and welcome to The Right Questions. I am your main man, James Victore, and today we've got a juicy question and I want to get right to it. It is a juicy question on no less, nothing less than the meaning of life. If you can believe that. Hang in here, let's get into this. I got today's question from a pal of mine who will remain nameless because I'm going to tear him a new one, quite frankly. And because he and I have already gone over this and spoken about this. But my pal writes me and he says, "Hey, James, I've been struggling quite a bit lately in my life and career and was wondering if you could share your perspective on a major theme. The question is this: how do we cope with the meaninglessness of life? That is, when I look around at all the great feats of other people, beautiful architecture, world-class artists, inventors, etc., and realize I will never be able to make such an impact on the world. What do I do? How do you stay motivated, energized, optimistic, if there's really no reason to exist? If you're not capable of impacting the world and creating a legacy, if you can't live up to the greatness of those who have come before, what should you do?" That's awesome. This is a logical and standard type question coming from somebody who wants to change the world, meaning my kind of person, right? Here it is. For most people on Earth, life is meaningless. My pal here has the great advantage of seeing through this, of seeing this and understanding that, and asking questions and trying to find a way out of it. But hell, for most people, they don't even have a clue. They don't have a clue that life is something other than birth, buying shit, and death. Right? For most people, the only reason they have a job is because they need money. Or at least that's how it was explained to me when I was a kid, right? You get a job so you can make money, so you can marry somebody, so you can get pregnant. So how pathetic an existence is that? And quite frankly, they don't actually care where the money comes from or what they have to do to get it, right? It's like the Fight Club adage: working jobs we hate to buy shit we don't need. You know, anybody can get a fucking job. That's easy. And there's no meaning, there's zero meaning in a job you hate. I mean, you really have to go looking for that. But back to my young charge and his question. And part of the answer is attitude is everything. Attitude is everything. And if your attitude sucks, everything else will suck. It's like wearing poopy-colored glasses. You know, poop glasses will make everything around you seem murky and dark and bitter. It's like my French friend and the writer Anais Nin wrote. She said, "We don't see the world the way it is. We see it as we are." Right? We don't see the world in reality. We see the world through the reality we put on it, through our expectations, through our limitations even, is how we see the world. But hey, my friend, you've gone all nihilist on me. It means you find no reason to exist. You know, nihilism is a viewpoint that says traditional values and beliefs have no basis on reality, and that existence is senseless and useless. You know? So listen, that's, you know what that sounds like to me? If traditional values and beliefs and mere existence is useless and have no reality, you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like freedom. That sounds like freedom. It's like, oh, wait, it's a cartoon world? Nothing matters? You know, if nothing has a point and you don't care, that means you don't care what people think of you, or your actions, or your efforts. That means you are free. You are free to create without the weight of others' opinions and criticism. What a beautiful place that is. What a lovely place to be. What a delightful place to work from. Oh, you mean nothing matters? So I can just create the way I want? Oh, hell yes. That's freedom, my boy. Freedom. They make movies about that, right? There are stories, poems written about that. The hero who starts out as some schlub, like some normal person, or presumably normal person trying to get by in a normal world, till it's pointed out that the normal world actually sucks. And our hero sheds his or her former life because they've realized they are not normal, they are not that way. So they shed their life, their existence like some tattered cocoon, right? And everybody loves them for it. Everybody cheers like fireworks going off in the sky. And everybody says, "Oh." But just throwing up your tiny little nihilist arms in defeat and crying, "I'm helpless," is not the answer. Okay? Coming to James and asking the question, that's your fucking answer. That's your answer right there. So listen, put away your fucking white flag for a moment. Okay? First of all, life is only meaningless when you can't find meaning in it. Just because you can't find meaning in life does not mean it is meaningless. Listen, I find meaning in life. I find meaning in lots of things. That, quite frankly, doesn't mean other people's lives aren't meaningless, or there is not a meaningless normal world going about fretting its time upon the stage out there beyond me. Okay? But just because you can't find meaning in life doesn't mean it's meaningless. It means that you are too beat up. You are too weakened. You are too tired. You are possibly too close to yourself. You have not gained the proper perspective. Or maybe you're just too scared and not up for the search. You are too scared or too uninformed, possibly, to look under your own hood and to see where these thoughts come from. Do you know where these thoughts come from? 'Cause I do. I'm like, I know, pick me. Oh, I know this one. So the thing is, like, do you know where these meaningless thoughts come from? Because I know where they come from, and it's important that you know where they come from. And they stem mostly in this situation from comparison. Right? Comparison, the thief of all joy, as Eleanor Roosevelt aptly called it. Eleanor Roosevelt being the wife of former President Theodore, or Teddy Roosevelt. Both of them genius people in their own rights. But Eleanor Roosevelt, again, called comparison the thief of all joy. Because when you look around at everything everyone else has, it becomes demoralizing. We can become joyless and depressed because everybody else has it so good, right? And comparison brings with it its evil twin of judgment, which is probably hanging around in your cupboard as well, right? We're bad judges of ourselves. We're bad judges of our humor, bad judges of the extent of our reach. We're bad judges of our humanity, of our sexuality. We're bad judges of our good looks, right? We tend to judge ourselves harshly. And with judgment and comparison, with these two things, your two pals, right? You're looking around at social media or Instagram and drooling at how well everybody else is doing. Everybody but you is doing well. But what you see is not the truth. No one's life is as good as it seems on social media. Certainly not mine. Give me a call. Let's talk about this. I want to unload. And this is meant to be some help to you. To understand that what you see or what you think you see is not the truth. Right now, you're thinking, oh man, I wish James Victore could be my mentor, my guru. Hell, I wish he was my coach. Well, you can make that happen. Go to yourworkisagift.com. There's a questionnaire that will probably help you out, but it'll also give you access to a free call. So let's talk. Let's free you from overwhelm and creative frustration. Let's build your business and help you get paid to do what you love. Again, go to yourworkisagift.com. Let's talk. And to be a further help, you should know that the people that you're ogling, did not wake up at 12 or 22 or 35 or 50 and say, hey, I'm a certified genius. I'm going to go create something that will last forever. Most of them, or maybe us. Can I say us? I'm going to include myself in that certified genius category just for the hell of it, right? I mean, if attitude is everything, yeah, I'm going to do that. So most of us, what we did was we did what's in our hearts. We did what was in our hearts, and it paid off. It worked out. Maybe in a month, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 20 years, but it paid off. It worked out. We stopped listening to what we thought the world wanted of us. We stopped getting depressed and hitting the brakes because other people were doing so well. Gee whiz, this project will never be as good as that. Right? We stopped getting depressed. We just did the shit that was in our hearts. And it ended up being good shit. Or it ended up being really bad shit that eventually, because of consistency, because we kept on going, because of the love in our hearts, because we had a vision, it became good shit. Right? I don't care if you make bad stuff. Good, keep making it. I will applaud you. I will cheer you on. Because bad shit, with consistency, eventually becomes good shit. Stay on it. And when it ended up being good, it surprised the hell out of us. That people eventually loved what we did. I'm constantly surprised when people like what I do. And I'm good at this. I have practice and experience with it. And further, to help you, we need to understand that those people who you are looking at, who created great feats of art and culture, you're only seeing the end result. You're only looking at the end result of a lifetime of struggle. You're not witness to the glorious failures or the ridiculous abuse many creators put themselves through. I suffer from the looky-loo syndrome too. I've realized Instagram is really bad for my ego. It's really bad for me to go looking around. I'm like, all my friends are like, they're having exhibitions all over the world and doing great commercial work, and I'm like looking around going, oh man, gee whiz, you know? I see what they're doing, and it makes me poop on what I'm doing, and all the ground I'm covering, and the steps I make every day, and how I become better at writing, or better at thinking, or better at just being every day, or maybe just a better husband, or a better father. All these things. Because it's not about whether life itself is meaningless. It's about whether you feel that it and you are meaningless. And if you cannot find some purpose, a direction, a North Star, then yes, it all very well may seem meaningless. And here's another thing to make you feel better, to help. And it's this. Sometimes we don't start. Sometimes we don't start projects, or we don't continue, or we don't push for what we really want because we see all the wealth that's out there that others have created. We see all the work, and we see all the shows, and we see all the groovy things, and we feel, what's the use? Right? I mean, you can start a jeans company or a sneaker company right now and make a great success of it. And, I look around and like, who needs new jean company? Who needs more sneakers, right? But you can do that. You can just jump in at any time and do that, right? Because not everything has been done. I remember listening to a grumpy old designer once, and he claimed that everything was already been done, and I realized that what he was saying was that he felt that he had done it, right? He felt that he had created everything, and there's no reason to go on, kind of a jerk. So the market is not saturated, and the reason the market is not saturated, my friends, is because you are not in it yet. Get in it. Get in it. We are still waiting to hear your voice. We want to hear from you. The world is waiting for your gifts. One of my heroes and one of the greatest thinkers whoever existed in the United States, his name is William James, and he talks a lot about changing your life, and he has this beautiful quote from one of his books, and it says, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human can alter his life by altering his attitude." And you got to understand, this is William James. I mean, his generation was the 1800s. So this is not a new phenomenon about changing your attitude to change your life. Right? It means if you can change your mind, you can change your life. And just change your thoughts. Just change your thoughts, buddy. It's not as much a search for meaning as it is a need to assign meaning, to give meaning, to create meaning. There's that word, create. So again, it's not as much a search for meaning as we need to assign meaning. Meaning, what does it mean to us? To us, your opinion. And then it means it will be different for everyone, because everybody has a different opinion. And because life is a mystery, and being a mystery means it will not reveal itself until you do the work, until you figure it out for yourself, until you give it meaning. So stop looking around at the great feats of other people, or trying to find meaning in what others have done or others are doing. That's not meaning. That's just safety in numbers. That's the look-alike bullshit, right? Your question is, what should I do? And I've got a one-word answer. And that one word is my favorite word. And it's a bit of a dangerous word. And the word is, you know it. Say it with me. Audacious. Motherfucking dacious, right? And if you look it up, it has two meanings. The first is a willingness to take bold risks. And two is an impudent lack of respect. And I want both meanings at the same time. Because I want you to take bold risks. I want you to get out there. And an impudent lack of respect means this: stop caring so much. You're not going out there with hate in your heart. You're going out there with love. You know, if you step on somebody's toes, if you say something wrong, right? I don't want you to worry about rocking the boat. I want you to sink the boat. Right? I want you to be audacious. Anyone who has made changes to their meaningless lives has been audacious. And they probably read my book, Fact Perfection, and followed it. So, since nothing really matters, and you have this renewed freedom, you can now be bold and audacious and make things the way you want to. And I've actually created the 9 steps to follow to create meaning for yourself and others and change the world. And you know, whenever I talk about creating, I always say for yourself and others, because that's what our gift is all about. It's not about us. Our gift really is not about us. Right? The gift is to the giver. So, as my pal Picasso said, the meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away. Right? That's why it's not about us. So here are the 9 steps of an audacious creator, an audacious contributor to society. 1, they know they were born weird, and that following that trail gives them a purpose. And 2, they don't give a shit what you think, so they are fearless in their purpose. 3, they possess a single-minded determinedness to be themselves, with no fucking apologies. 4, they make their own rules. 5, every move they make is out of love and respect of life and their talents and gifts. 6, they give themselves the elbow room and freedom to play and develop their gift. 7, they share their talents and gifts relentlessly and with reckless abandon. 8, their vulnerability and authenticity attracts others who want to help. And then 9, they change themselves and change the world. So stop waiting for life to have meaning, which is what that question is, really. It's just waiting. It's like you got your foot on the brakes, right? So stop playing by the fucking rules. Go play and do what makes you happy. And damn the torpedoes and get what you want. And in doing so, you will become bigger than yourself every day. I mean, you know, it all sounds daunting and hard, but it's really easy. Just be audacious and be the capable, sexy creator that you were born to be. And I'm going to leave you with another William James recipe, and this is his recipe for changing your life. And he says these are 3 simple little points. 1, start immediately. 2, do it flamboyantly. And 3, no exceptions. And I will add number 4, and be happy. This is The Right Questions. I'm James Victore. I don't have all the answers, just the right ones. And I will talk to you next week. I'm James Victore. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Adios.